Okay, everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat. I wish everyone the Gemara Chasim Tova, and I hope everyone is in the right mindset. We're getting ready for Yom Kippur, Baruch Hashem. And Yom Kippur is a very special day, very, very special day. And we'll talk about it, Mitzvah Hashem. But now we're learning Likutey Halachos Tachanun Nefilas Apayim, so which is the laws of Tachanun. We're in Halacha Dalet, and we're in the middle of Tes Zayin. All right? And again, we learn for the well-being of the Chayalim, the Chatufim, all of Klal Yisrael, wherever they found, and especially those that are trying to make their way back from from the kibbutz in Uman. They're still having a lot of trouble out there. But okay, it's Hashem. Hashem should help them, everyone. Okay, so we're learning this amazing idea of the system of counting, and basically we established that everything goes in systems of 10, and every time you count 9, 10 brings you back to 1, right? 10, 9, and then when you get to the 10th, 10 brings you back to 1, and then you start all over again, and so on. And there's systems of 10 in everything, right? And systems of 10 in each world, right? And then there's systems of 10 within each one of the 10. And then there's systems of 10 within each one of that one. So it's really infinite. It just keeps going on. But basically, 9 is 10. It brings you back to 1.
What do you think they mean by they say 9 is the root of all numbers, after which everything returns to oneness?
9 is the root of 9 is root of all numbers, because 9 brings you to 10. 9 brings you to 10, which brings you back to 1. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. 10 is a 1 and a 0. To remind you back, it's back to Hashem, Malchus.
But 9, because 10 is 1 above 9. That's the connection between 9 and 10.
Yes.
So there's an infinite number of these 10s that we have to rectify, in a sense?
You're making rective, yes.
So this is where, and I know I discussed with David a little bit yesterday, this meeting, so I assume this is where he's going to be going to like Keter Malchus, the bottom, and yet you get up to the top again.
You keep going up
to going Malchus there, so she is again, and I have to keep going up this ladder of 10 sphera.
Right.
And it's infinite.
And so let's say you and I might be in a certain sphere. So let's say you and I are but you might be in a completely different ball game, a completely different division.
Yeah, we're always in a system of 10, but where is your system?
Where's your system? Right.
Where is the system? That's right. What level is your system?
And then those systems are infinite.
They're infinite, yes, sir.
How at the top, is there a key set?
There is no, but it keeps going, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is really we established yesterday that numbers was something Hashem created. Hashem is over numbers, right?
Yeah.
There was Hashem, then He created a system of numbers.
Yeah.
Right. So numbers is a part of creation, right?
Yeah.
But Hashem is really behind everything. He's behind all the numbers. He's behind all the ideas and behind everything else. Right?
So, I'm sorry if this is a distraction, but the 3.14 blah, 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 which is an infinite number, is that somehow anyway tied in here also? Pi?
I don't know what you're referring to. I don't know.
You're saying, since we're talking about something that's infinite, when it comes to numbers, it turns out we apparently know this other number called pi, which seemingly is also.
But it's not. No number ends. It keeps going. Numbers don't end. You can just keep counting, right? You just right.
That's a mashal to Hashem and to this as well. Do you have any? I just want to get my head around this. Do you have any understanding to how many divisions there may be? So, for example, that tzaddik might be at what division away from a regular person in the sphere.
Well, everyone's on a different level. We're all on different levels.
Do you have any idea? But we know, the good thing we know is these levels are divisible by 10. That we know.
Okay.
Okay? Okay. So, what I'm trying to understand is the difference between the levels, between these breakdowns of 10. And so, a tzaddik, how many of a higher level?
So we said yesterday, we established yesterday like this, that you have a tzaddik understands, and anything that he sees in this world, he understands that Hashem is really behind it. It's not the thing he's seeing. He sees through everything of this world, and he knows it's really Hashem behind it. Right? So a tzaddik never gets upset when someone tells him something, or he sees something that doesn't seem right, or so. He realizes it's all Meis Hashem. So he doesn't get upset at the actual thing itself. We get bent out of shape by things that we see and hear and so on. And we blame, and we try to blame different people and different things. But that's wrong. It's really all Hashem. And you have to say, now, Hashem, why did this happen? Hashem, why is this happening? Right? Not look at the situation as, well, it's his fault this happened.
I think what he's asking, like, do we know what level Rabbi Nachman was on versus you?
And anyone, what do you mean? Everybody's on a different level, and they're on their level.
Okay. And
I
don't know. We're just trying to, okay, that's fine. I've asked questions. It's a big idea.
The closer, okay, so the higher you are, the indicator from what we learned is like this. When you look at things in this world, how do you react to them? That shows you where you're at. When you see something and you don't get upset by it, and you realize you attribute everything to Hashem, the more you can do that, the higher level you're at.
Fair. All right, last question on this, which is, can you skip levels? Meaning,
no, we discussed that. We always want to go. We want to go up gradually.
If I'm on Malchut, if I'm in Malchut Division A, all right?
Yeah.
And I want to get to Division, 2 or 3, or even the majors. Do I have to go through Division 2, 3 before I get to the meeting?
Yes, you go to very.
You did something really super special. You went and you sowed on your low level, and you all of a sudden jumped up, and you're hanging out there.
Right.
With tzaddikim.
Yeah, you could do something great that'll catapult you. Yes.
I don't have. Hey, hold on. You got to get through.
No. But okay, Yossi, when we daven, we established when you start out in the Olam Hasiyah. Then you go to the Olam HaYetzirah. Then you go to Bria, Tatzilut, right? Which is you're rising up pretty good, right? We're doing these things all the time.
So why is it important that we know this? Because it's an infinite thing. We really don't know what level we're on. What's important about this then? That we know this. It's important. What's important for us to know this?
To know that there are different, to understand the system of numbers, to understand how I can always connect all numbers back to Hashem, right? And to realize how we want to connect ourselves to Hashem. That's all it's all about. All the learning is that all day, all the time, 24/7, you connect yourself to Hashem. That's what it's all about.
But how does this make me feel connected to Hashem?
Because you have okay. So we said like this. Here, okay, let's rewind. We were talking about the 9 chambers.
Right.
We were talking about the 9 chambers, and you get the 9 chambers based on the 3 worlds, Asiya, Yetzirah, and Bria. Right. When you have the Kether it collides with the Chachma, Bina, and Das, and that each world gives you 3. And that is 3 worlds, gives you 9 Heichalos. And then we said yesterday, in our minds, we have the Redifa. The mind is running. It wants to learn more. It wants to understand more. And then you have the Ma'akev, the part of the mind that's holding it back. So when the Redifa and the Ma'akev collide, because there's always something going on, that also creates these 9 Heichalos. Remember we said that yesterday, right? Again, they're not. It's nothing physical.
Right.
They're not physical heichalos like a chamber. It's all connected to the or a tzachtzachos, the polished light from the Or Ein Sof. Right? It's all connecting how much light you can connect to. Okay? So basically, how much light you can connect to in a good, safe way to keep you rising levels. Okay? And again, it's all based on the idea. Let's understand. This is all lesson 24 to understand that to doing mitzvahs always besimcha, right? That's the whole point. That we want to learn that we do a mitzvah, take a mitzvah, something so special, right? And when you do the mitzvah, it's great to do any mitzvah, right? But when you do the mitzvah with simcha, it's not comparable. It's just something. It's something totally different. And he's just explaining to us all different ideas on how we can get to doing mitzvahs b'simcha. Okay? So let's continue. Let's. Okay. So we're up to where it says Nimsa she'elu atisha hecholim shehem sheirish kolam isparim. Right. So these tisha hecholim, this idea of the 9 chambers, 9 gives you 10, which is the source of all numbers. Right. Shebaolam. Heim mikusharim miyuchadim b'achdusa yizbarach. They're all connected and bound back to Hashem, right? So this goes back to the same idea we were learning in Nesias Kapayim when we have the bracha when the Kohen gives us the bracha Yivarechecha Hashem, right? Yivarechecha Hashem. So when the Kohen gives us the bracha Hashem, to know that my money all comes from Hashem. It's all coming from Hashem to be saved from the mazikim. So a person shouldn't get all bent out of shape with his money and everything else. Money, it's numbers. It's all numbers, right? So why am I going to get bent out of shape? Realize it's always all the money. Every time you have 10 goes back to 1. It goes back to Hashem. Keep remembering Hashem during your day. That's it. Okay, here we go. And who can come to this understanding? They bring everything back, everything in your life, you bring it back, and you realize it's from Hashem. Azai nispatlin kol hakfiros v'nispatl hasitra demoisa shul bechinas bikshu cheshbonos rabbis. Right? So this goes back to Adam Arishon and Chava. When there was Adam in the world, and he was the only one, there was one idea. And when Chava came into the world, there was more cheshbonos, more people, more ideas, more things. But we want to bring it back to the oneness of Hashem. Shehem hachakiros v'hakefiros timshochem me'ariboy. They come from the riboy, when there's more, right? When you have more things in the world, more ideas. Right now we have 8 billion people in the world, so there's so many different ideas and so many different things, right? Kizeh tzaddik shezoichel lahasoga zois. That this tzaddik that comes to this hasaga, zeichel lichlol kol ha-misparim v'ha-minyanim, right? Shehem bayim acha habriya lichlal hakol b'mekor ha'achdus haydei hasagas hatisha echolin. Understanding this thing of the tisha echolin, the 9 chambers. Because again, what's the point of the 9? 9 always brings you back to 1. Brings it back to Hashem, where you don't get involved in the kfira, heresy. You don't get involved in all of the questions and all of that stuff. Because again, the mind is based on keter, and the keter holds the mind back from trying to understand more than it can understand. Right? Tries to understand. So the more you can understand this, that everything in the world is closer to Hashem, is on the greater level that you're on. All right, now here we go. Now it's then we have Parsha Shkolim. V'zeh b'chinas mitzvah Shkolim. L'tzarech karbonos v'tziba v'ketoris u'malachas hamishkan. Right? So we said that we started off yesterday. We were talking about Kisisa, right? When after the Cheda Egel. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, count the Jewish people. And we should all give the machzos shekel, right? Because we said that when you count, minyan's a problem, right? We don't want to count people. So we counted the shkolim, right? So now what did we do with the shkolim? When they collected the shkolim, right? So when Moshe Rabbeinu collected the shkolim in the Mishkan, the first time the shkolim were connected, he used the silver from the shkolim. He melted that down and he made the adonim for the krashim in the Mishkan, right? The Adanim were those the posts for the sockets of the beams, right? Yeah, he made the beams. The beams had two poles. Pretty much, it looked like the bottom. It looked like a Sefer Torah, right? It looked like a Sefer Torah. You have two sticks on the bottom. So then there was a silver that looked like, I guess, like a cinder block. You ever see a cinder block? A cinder block has holes in it, right? Mm-hmm. So that was made out of silver, and it would fit in, and that's how they would do it. And now, what was the point of doing that? So every Jew had an equal part and parcel in the foundation of the Mishkan, right? In the foundation, right? You needed the foundation in order to erect the Mishkan, right? So everybody, you gave the Machzas HaShekel, and that Machzas HaShekel was used to make the foundation of the Mishkan. Afterwards, if you learn the Mishnah Shkolim, right? So you learn about what they did with the Shkolim later on. So the Shkolim were used for the karbonos of the communal karbonos, right? There were different communal sacrifices that were done, the carbon atomid in the morning and in the afternoon, right? And the ketoras. So they used that money to purchase those animals, to purchase those spices for the ketoras and for the upkeep of the Mishkan, right? Malachas Mishkan, okay? Ki hayedei mitzvah shkolim shemevinim nehen karbonos v'ketoras hayedei nimshach simcha. So we said that the ketoras bring simcha. Have we learned that? Ketoras bring simcha, right? Because again, when you smell the beautiful aroma, put a person in a good feeling, and so on. So it brought in. He says here, bebechinas ketoras yismach lev. It says in Mishlei, Ketores Yismach Lev, the Torah brings joy into a person's heart. V'chein b'karbonos siv simcha, k'may shekosa v'samachtem b'chol mishlach yetchem, you should rejoice in all that Hashem provided for you, that you have. Be joyful of what you have. V'chein b'sukim harbe, many psukim, v'hayedei ha-simcha zois, shel karbonos ketores zeh b'chinas asiyas ha-mitzvah b'simcha. This is the idea of doing a mitzvah with joy. And again, we're going to keep learning about this idea. It's so important when you do a mitzvah, to do the mitzvah b'simcha. Add joy. Realize that Hashem gave us an opportunity to do the mitzvah. You have an opportunity, right? Not only do you have an opportunity to mitzvah, you get rewarded for the mitzvah. It's amazing, right? Normally a king tells you to do something, you do it. If not, you get killed, right? You have to follow the king's rules, right? But HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, no, here, do the mitzvahs, and I'll reward you. You get eternal reward for doing the mitzvahs. So when you think about that, it brings you to great joy that Hashem, you're doing the mitzvah anyway. So can put a little simcha in there. Think about what you're doing, what you're accomplishing, right? Ayadei malin hakedusha me'aklipas, and then you can lift the holiness that got stuck in the klipas. Where he said that the Shechina is in Golus, right? We're in Golus, right? We're in Golus. We're in exile, but the Shechina is also in exile. Why is the Shechina in exile? Because Simcha is in exile. The Shechina is the same as Simcha. Remember we established that. So if the Shechina is Simcha is the Shechina. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu's presence in this world is the Shechina, right? The HaKadosh Baruch Hu's presence in this world is the Shechina. So if HaKadosh Baruch Hu's presence in the world is in Shechina, and which is Simcha. Simcha is in Galus. So it's our job to lift up the Simcha from the Galus. How do you do that? By doing a mitzvah b'Simcha, right? Until you can come to this idea of the Tisha Echolin, of these nine chambers. So then that's how you can get out of the idea of the danger of the counting. Right? We don't count people normally, right? We don't do that. We count something else. We'll use different words. We'll use a pasuk. We'll use different things to count people. We don't want to count people directly but again, when you understand the numbers are really all numbers of Hashem, and HaKadosh Baruch created the numbers, so then it's not as dangerous anymore. You understand? The danger is when you have just the numbers for the numbers them for the sake of the numbers themselves. You want to say something, Yossi?
Yeah, no, I think the heck she's making, but back a couple lessons ago, is you're right, say, it started with, hey, be real careful when you count. What's the big deal about counting? What do you got? 1, 2, 3, what do you, come on. No, because when you count, you're putting a limitation on me and you, and me and you have Shechina in us.
You have a chelik
Mamash, which is infinite, which happens to be also part of this whole system.
Yeah.
Which is what we're talking about because of the numbers. Don't do numbers just like as if
for the numbers. There we go.
It's actually infinite.
Right.
When you do that, it's really dangerous. It can result in death.
Yes.
When you understand the reason behind this, why it's so dangerous. Why the Torah's bent out of shape about this counting thing. And you know what I mean when I say Hoshias, I have trouble with that pasuk. Like I I'm trying to make a minion. I want to just.
Gonna make sure that you got.
I want to make sure. I'm gonna tell you. I'll do a 2, 4, 6, 8. But but when you understand that, hey, we don't even want to have a shash that you're putting any sort of finite
Exactly.
When you understand just what that means, so then you could already be, besimcha, and you could and
exactly. Ki nichla la mispar v'aminyan b'achdusa yizbarach, because you're bringing the number back to Hashem. So then you have the protection of Hashem. How do you have the protection of Hashem? Doing a mitzvah b'simcha, right? That's the best thing that we can do. Any mitzvah you do, you're giving tzedakah, you're putting on your tefillin, Shabbos, it's Erev Yom Kippur, you're eating, do it b'simcha, right? Do everything, it's a mitzvah. Do it b'simcha, right? Do it b'simcha. Okay, v'al kain tzivsa Torah litein shkolim l'tzarech karbonos v'keteres be'es haminyan. So therefore, the Torah commands us to give the karbonos, which brings joy, the keteres, which brings joy, at the time that we're counting. Use the counting, use the shkolim that the people are giving, right? Their shekel that they're giving, the machzos or shekel that they're giving, use that to buy the karbonos, to buy the keteres. Therefore, there shouldn't be a plague when you're being counted, when we're counting them, right? When we're counting Jews, you count the Jews, you don't count the person himself, you count something. You count the shekel, his half a shekel that he gave, right? You count those so you don't cause the problem with the person himself. And it's the same way when we count people for a million. We do the same thing, right? Kinisbatel sitra the maisa shua sitra achra haneches ba'minyan. You can nullify the sitra achra, the side of death, and the side of impurity based that's really has his count on numbers, right? He has his hold on numbers. But he can be nullified because the money is being used for what both the ketoras and the karbonos. Doing mitzvahs with joy. Understanding the nine heichalim. And again, the 9 heichalim come about from the 3 worlds. 3, 3, 3, 3 is 9. You could do that also in your mind, just to review, right? When you have anytime you have the redifa, the mind is trying to understand more than it can, things that it can't. But then there's the ma'akev, holds, no, don't do that. Don't do that. That also creates the tishrei cholim. The tishrei cholim will bring you back to Hashem, right? Because it's 9 is the source of all numbers, because 9 brings you to 10, which brings you back to Hashem. What?
Good job.
What's that?
Good job. So does that also mean if we
needed approval.
Okay.
If we see people this way,
Yeah.
we won't really ever get mad at them or.
That's the point.
They're beautiful people. They're infinite. They're not a specific thing.
Exactly. When a tzaddik sees a person, he's looking at the person's neshama. He's not looking at the person themselves, right? The guf is only the garment of the neshama. right? The neshama is the essence of the person. The guf is only the garment of the neshama, right? We get carried away with that. We think sometimes the guf is the most important thing. Oh, and then there's a neshama. That's what the Yetzer Hara wants you to think. Right? But it's not. It's the neshama is being enclosed by the guf.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
When I look at my wife, I should be seeing her neshama.
When you see any person.
Any person. I know,
Yes.
but, you know.
Yeah. That's right. Okay, we understand the point. Okay.
Yeah. By the way, I heard of Yayin, separately, Yayin Yismach Lev. Like, okay, I guess I could, get that. But the Ketorah Yismach Lev.
Well, he quoted the pasuk Ketorah Yismach from Mishlei.
Yeah, like meaning it's not a smell that I could just get. I mean, it has to be the smell from the base of the Mikdash.
You're not allowed to make the Ketorah yourself.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to make
how
that.
am I supposed to do this?
How are you supposed to do what?
Ketorah Yismach Lev. How am I supposed
Oh,
to
well, today we could. So we said on the Shalma, Forum B'Sifaseidu, right? We can fulfill these things by us saying them. So today, when you say the Ketorahs,
that'll gladden my heart.
it can if you understand what it is.
Gladden my heart.
Exactly.
That's like even the Pitum Torah.
The Pidim, that's Ketorah.
Gladden my heart. Yeah.
That can bring joy to a person's heart. Okay, let's just do a Dvar Halacha. Okay, you guys got to go daven. Okay, so let's do. Okay, but it's a nice. It's an important lesson to understand. I think so. Okay, today we're in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch Hilchos Birchas HaShachar. Okay, which is Zion, and I think today we're up to Vav. Right, we did, yeah. Kol Birchas HaShachar im loy amram koidem shiyispalo yochel amram achar atfila. All right, all the Birchas HaShachar, like the brachas you make lahavchem b'yom vein loyla and all these other brachas. If you came in later, whatever it is, you can make these brachas after you daven. You can make those up. It's better to do it in order, always in order, but you can. Okay, chutz mi birchas al natilas yadayim, except for the bracha of natilas yadayim. That's the bracha you make when you get up in the morning. Right when you got up in the morning, you can make the bracha natilas yadayim. All right, the im kain. Lachas yispal ein oid makan levracha zayis chutz mi birchas elikai neshama. You can't make that also the elikai neshama, because that's the time when you get he also says shekvar yotza bebirchas mechaya mesim. So when you're saying Shmon Esrei, right? If you say Shmon Esrei, you say mechaya mesim. So that's the same as the bracha of elikai neshama, that I got my neshama back. Right? So notice I can't make that bracha, but the other brachas you can make up, but you have to understand the brachas, what you're saying in the brachas, to know which ones you can make up and which ones you can't make up. Okay?
So is there something here about, like, I should nitilat yadayim before I go to the bathroom?
What? No. In the morning, you say that you get up in the morning, you say modahani. Right. Then you can go to the bathroom. Right, and then you can make you wash your hands. You can go outside of the and you make the asha yotzar. Right. Then you start your tefillah. So when you start your tefillah, you can make and again we said that the best thing is to wash your hands, not in the bathroom. Right, go in the kitchen or somewhere else. You have a sink, not in the bathroom. Wash your hands. Then make the bracha netilas yadayim, and then you make the asha yotzar in the order of the bracha. Then you say lekai neshama. Right, that's the order that we do it. Remember we learned that?
But that's different than when we first wake up in the morning.
That's when you wake up in the morning. That's what you're supposed to do. You don't make the bracha al natilas yadayim when you went first to the bathroom.
Right.
Although you can, if you went out of the bathroom, you washed your hands, right? So then you can make the bracha al natilas yadayim, and then you can make the asha yotzar.
Okay.
Or you could just make the asha yotzar, then wash your hands specifically for tefillah.
Yeah.
Specifically to daven, and then you can make the al natilas yadayim. All right, but you can only do that. That bracha you can't make up. You can't make that bracha up. Right. So if you should say that in that order. Also, the bracha lekai neshama, you can't say that one that Hashem is going to give you back my neshama, because we say mechaya mesim. So the bracha Mechayim Mesim includes that Hashem is going to revive the dead. So that's included in Elokai Neshama. So therefore, you're not allowed to make that. You're not allowed to say that bracha anymore because you said the next bracha. So the best thing is to get up on time, say all the brachas keseder, and you don't come into these problems. But again, if something happened that you got up later, whatever it was, this is what you do. You can make all the other brachas. So just try to make the bracha on the Tilas Yadayim and Elokai Neshama, and then make the other brachas later, because those you can make up, these you can't make up. Does it make sense? Any questions?
Beautiful.
Okay? Wow. All right, so I wish everyone a wonderful day, and we should all hear Besoro Tovot.